really fun plan for this faith window. Hopefully it's going to work. And if you watched my last video launch, you know I went over time. So I figured out a way to make this work. I've done a lot of the prep work already. So what you're going to see now is me really just kind of putting it together. You're going to watch the part of the envelope. So what do you need? Obviously print all the pages of the kit. And I ended up printing an extra number 2 because I think I might need it, but I won't know. So I'm already prepped. I've got all that ready. Let me show you how I think this one's going to work. So this is 2 window envelopes. One window with a kind of wide window, and then another one with a double window. That's my plan. And it's folded over. So here's what I'm thinking, that you would fold this down. And in here, I'm going to put the picture of the Last Supper on this card that I've got ready. So you might want to get a card ready. And obviously it's a little bit less than 4, and then you cut it for where you folded it, okay? And then behind it would be a big pocket. Well, actually it's a slide in. Excuse me, it's not gonna be a pocket, it's a slide in, okay? And what I've done then is I'm gonna use the main tag that says I'm the bread of life. And then the 4 cards, I've already done my Bible study. So we'll talk about that later. So that's gonna be sliding in there. And then you would flip that down, right? And then we'd have the ends of those, and I'm going to have them, I'm gonna glue them together, and then the other Bible verses will be in those pockets. So that's my plan, okay? So let me take out all the tags so far, and we'll start putting this together. Okay, so let's take that part out. I also grabbed some hymnal paper because I was thinking I might want to have it inside there. And so let's open this first one up. So this is totally open, okay? I've opened the whole thing. And the reason I'm having it open is because I was trying to figure out this picture, I think, should be the picture of Jesus as the bread of life, right? So we're gonna have to play around, and that's why when it's opened up like that, I can really make it work. And I'm thinking that for this one, I'm actually just going to glue this onto the back of it. Okay, so it's going to be closed, and then we'll close it back up. That's my thought, that it's not going to come in and out. This one isn't going to come in and out. The second one, I think we will take in and out on a card. That's what I'm thinking. So if that's the case, let's see where I would trim this. Let me move the other papers from underneath. So if you have the envelope open, see, you get to put it exactly where you want it. And I want most of his head and obviously his hands with the bread, right? Okay, so let's make some marks then, because we're going to glue it right in there. Let's see, if I put the glue on there and put it down and then just trimmed around, could do that, but then I'd be wasting. Oh no, I can't use that anyway because it would be half of him, you wouldn't see. Okay, let's see. You know what? I think I am gonna do the glue. Let's try the glue way, and then you'll know whether that's the way to do it or not. So I'm gonna put the glue around the window, right? And then we'll stick it back to exactly where we want it, and then I'll trim it. Let's see if that way works, Diane. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, so we've got that glued down. Let's flip this over, and now I'm gonna take my big scissors, where are they? Okay, and now we're gonna trim this. You know what'll be better? Instead of scissors, let's do the tearing thing, because that way I think it'll work better. Let's just tear it from where we already know it's going to be like that. So let's tear that. Okay, and then we'll do it the opposite way, right? And see, we have a lot. That's why I didn't want to waste the paper, because I can use it So let's tear that. I think that's going to work. Yeah, see, now I've got all my parts that I can still use. Okay, we have him correct. Now, this picture had to go over onto the fold, so we are going to have to trim that back so that the envelope can be folded back up. So let's try. Okay. And there we have it. Okay, that worked. That was easier way to do it. And then we're going to close that. This is going to go back over here. Now, I don't know if I should glue this now or not, so let's just hold on for a second. Okay, so I'm going to cover this, and we're going to cover that. And yes, I need it as a pocket because what my plan was, this is going to go in and out like that, right? That's my plan. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and glue this. Well, we'll see. Here we go again. See, when I don't make these in advance of videoing it, I don't know everything, so you do kind of need to watch then and see, did that work or not work before you cut anything. So I'm just going to reiterate, which I say in all of these videos for Faith Windows. Trim. Okay, stop, Diane, let me stop. Okay. The first 3 main pages are strips, which I talk about all the time, right? Trim around it if your printer trimmed that way, but don't go ahead and cut this because, again, it depends on the size of your envelopes, okay? The fitting this is what we do later, okay? So that's my point to make there. Okay, so that works, and now I have this pocket. Now, what I want to do, just you can't see, but see how I didn't put enough glue, and I don't want my envelope to, my tag slide in and out. I don't want it to get caught on that. And that's okay that this envelope is kind of messed up because, as you know, when you get these, if you rip them, okay, that's all we can do. We can try and open them up without ripping them. Let's see, I got to make this stay like that. Okay, let's do that for now, and we're all set. Okay, so we are going to cover this as the front, this as the back, and we're not going to cover that for a second. So let's do our front with whatever we have left, and that won't be enough, but that's okay. Let's do... you know what, turn the paper upside down, Diane. It's a lot easier. There we go. Now I'm going to line that along there. So, again, if you watch my videos, you know that I glue and then attach and then trim. That just works better for me. Oh, here we go. See? Stop, Diane. Stop. See, you need to edge it. There we go. I'm going to edge this whole piece. You can't edge it before you start because you don't know where you're going to put it. So, and the other trick that I do with all of my window envelopes, don't be right on the very edge, is you see how that's rounded, and I don't pay attention to the rounding. I go ahead and just square it off. Okay, so we've got that, and let's use the tearing method again because it seems to work fairly well. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we've got that like that. This needs trim just a little tiny bit. Okay, so we've got that glued down to there. Yes, we do. Okay. So this is going to come up like that. Do I want to wrap that? Now that's going to be, let's put this back on and figure out if that's going to work. Okay, so the trick is the big windows in the front, the double windows in the middle. This is going to come over here and we're going to glue those. So yeah, look, I might as well because that back has to be done. So see, that's why you need to kind of play with it. Before you decide to trim or cut things off, okay? So we are going to go ahead and wrap that on the fold. There we go. So that worked actually pretty well. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut it though this time, just to... And do I need that over that? No, because this is the fold. We want this open. So could we stick it in there to make it look nice? Actually, we could. That would work. What if we just trimmed just inward a little bit, right? And then we'll wrap that into there, and then it will look nice. Plus, make the flap sturdier. There we go. Okay, that was a good use of the paper. And because I tore it, it wasn't quite straight, I'm just going to trim it up a little bit. Okay. I love the colors in this kit. So what we could do is put this fun piece there. That would work. How far up do we have to go? We could put that right there, and then we'll put a piece up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I hope you're enjoying these. They're very popular. I can tell you, a lot of people are downloading them and making them, and I'm just like so happy because I think they're an awesome way to do Bible study, to be in God's Word. And this one, I went ahead and did the Bible study. So that's the good part. So here we go again. See, we're just going to be able to wrap that, and that's going to work perfect. This paper doesn't have as much collaged naturally onto it, but it kind of blends, so we're okay. There we go. We got that one. Oh, did Diane do that? No, Diane forgot again. Well, we'll just get it that far. Okay. That works. And let's take this. We'll take that piece, make it work on there. If that's the case, let's edge it. Get it all nice and edged before we put it down. And that works perfect. Okay. Oh, Diane, careful where you're throwing your glue stick, huh? Okay, we're going to put that right there. So we'll fit it on there. Thank you for all the wonderful feedback that people are giving me. And as I said, I'm going to finish the 7 I am statements of Jesus for the first 7 Faith Windows kit. That's what I think that I'm doing. And then once that is done, then the next kits are going to be probably about things like grace, perseverance, all that kind of stuff. That's what my plan is, unless I get some other revelation from God about what I'm supposed to make. Oh, yes, that is gorgeous. That is so pretty. Okay, that looks good. Now we need one little piece. Let's use this little piece. And we'll edge it on both sides. We have to come down just a little bit. Okay. Well, I'm doing pretty good on my timing, although I'm at 13 minutes and we don't even have one envelope done. But it should come together pretty quickly because I've done a lot of the prep already, so you're just going to see me covering the envelopes. So let's go ahead and kind of edge that. We'll trim. That does not. Okay, remember, Diane, this is supposed to be a pocket. Yeah, it's a pocket. Okay, don't want to forget my pocket there. So we'll go ahead and trim that across. And we'll edge it. And this first envelope is almost done. Okay, we're doing pretty good then. So that's going to be like that. This will be like that. Let's go ahead and what pieces do we have left over here? We could take a piece from here and just put it right on there. Why don't we just do that? That would be easiest. We'll just get it edged and we'll have this part all done. Yeah, and thanks for the feedback about the length of the videos. I had quite a few people, actually. I thought people were going to say, make them short. I don't want long ones. But I really appreciate you all for saying that it's more important to watch the whole thing than to be short, I guess. So I'm going to make an attempt to please myself and to please others, in the sense of I'm going to do as much as I can in advance that won't matter to like the process. And then that way you get to see how to make the little journal book. So this one is actually fun because, well, they're all fun, Diane. Why do you say that? But I meant is that I actually did this Bible study. Normally I say to you, well, you can do all this stuff, right? Okay, well, that part's good. So we have to cover that is what we're going to cover. But this one, I just wanted to be honest and real and show you that these are such wonderful little tools to actually do a short Bible study. And then you have these whole little set of, you know, Bible studies. They're great for, because we're coming into September, school's going to be starting, which means small groups at churches typically start. And I've had a couple people say that this would be a good idea. As I mentioned, if you buy the kit, you download it. You can print it as many times as you want. You just can't send the file to your friends to print. So my suggestion there is just go ahead and you print it. And whether you're the Bible study leader or whatever, you print it and have the pieces all sitting there for the small group. And then you can lead it as a Bible study, that they're making it, and then you're you know, you're going over the verses and spending time in God's Word. And that's the whole point, right? Okay, that one's going to be on to there. So there, we've got that. Yes. Okay, that part's done. Now we just need to do this. And I forgot to say to you how I think I'm going to put these two together is I'm just going to staple it. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to staple. So let's cover this part. We don't have to cover that part. So let's get a whole other piece of, yeah, because I've used that whole one up, right? Let's take this. We're going to go ahead and just put that whole one on there. That will work. And we're going to cover it to there. So let's glue this one down. I'm going to put it right at the fold. Match the sides. There we go. And this envelope is 4 1/4. So as I think I've mentioned to you, I made the strips like 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4. But every envelope is different, right? Yes. So that's why I tell you, don't cut your strips. Glue them on to your envelopes and then trim it. You're going to be much happier. And you're going to be able to use your paper more effectively. And then let's pop that one across. And then there we go. So we've got the back one done like that. It's all set. And let's edge everything. Remember what I've told you about edging with a dark color. It draws your eye into the center of something, number one, and it actually frames everything really nice. And I use, oh my gosh, I can't even read it. This is Ground Espresso. That's kind of my favorite one. Let's put some glue on there, just make sure it's done. There we go. Okay. The first envelope is done and we're at 20 minutes. Okay, well, that's probably as fast as I'm ever going to be able to go to cover one envelope. So we've got that already. And I'm going to keep it open, so make sure it's open, because my goal was to put I am the bread of life in there like that with that tag. Yes, that's pretty. Okay, let's work on this one. Let's see if we can get this one done quickly, and then you'll be able to see me put everything together. Now this one, I have this one open also, okay? And the reason I want to have it open is because we're going to be sliding a bunch of things in and out. So if you like the inside of your envelope, go ahead and use it. I mean, it would kind of go, but personally, I want to put music paper in there. That's just not music paper. Hymn paper, thank you. I'm going to put that in there because that would just make me happier. I'm more happy with that. See, that way, when everything is out, you see a hymn. Yes, that's kind of what I want to do. Okay, so we are going to, oops, get your glue going, Diane. Cover the whole inside. And where's my fold? There it is. I should have, like, you know what I'm going to do, just to make my life easier, if you sometimes do that when you're trying to figure out where a fold is, makes it easier. But you know where the glue goes, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we'll get this in there, and what is this little piece? I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Sticky fingers. Let's just open that up. There we go. Now we can put our hymn page on there. And we know right where it's going to go. And you saw that I trimmed it so that I'm using to the very edge. Where's my bone folder? There we go. And then we'll trim this off. There we go. And do we want to leave that in there or not? Yeah, see, I like that with the hymnal paper. Is it going to matter that it's in there? Yeah, you know why we don't want that in there? Because when we stick the tags in, they're going to get caught. So actually, we don't want that extra long part. So let's just trim that off. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And let's make sure that it's all glued down. So again, when the tags go in the pocket, that they don't get caught on anything. Okay, so that's working. And now, where is this going? You know what, I may have to trim this whole thing across the top. Now that I'm looking at it, because there is a big divot right there. You know what, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, why don't you draw a line first? That would be better, wouldn't it? Yes, it would be. And we're gonna cut that way. Okay, let's put it back down. Let's trim that. So if you have a little problem in the corner, then see what I just did? Just you can even it up and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so this is the inside pocket. So we're gonna put our edging on. That's gonna be up like that. Okay, we're doing good, we're doing good. Now let's cover this. So this is going to sit here. Yep. So we're gonna cover this one. Hold on, let's remember. And we're gonna have, and we have to cover the whole back. So why don't we cover the back first? It'll just be a lot easier, quicker, right? Because we have this whole, the piece, this piece will be perfect. There we go. We're gonna cover that whole back piece because you will see all that. And I know it's, kids are getting ready to go back to school, so you can, quote, get Elmer's glue. It's like super cheap. I'm just gonna tell you, be very wary of Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue and stuff has a lot of water in it. Now, you might say, Diane, it's never done that to me. That's okay. I have been crafting so long, and I only used to use Elmer's cheap glue. I'd go and buy 50 sticks right before school started, and I'd be all excited and happy I had all the sticks. Well, over the years now, when I go pull out all my old albums, things just fall apart. They just fall right out of it because the glue doesn't last. It's not a forever glue. And so I now have invested in using the Pritt glue stick. And as I mentioned before, if you buy 10, like if you go to Amazon, which is where I get them, and you buy 10 at a time, you get a really good price on it. Okay. And that way it makes it affordable is what I'm trying to say. It becomes affordable. And then that way I don't have to worry about all these little paper projects falling apart, especially if you give one to somebody, right? That would be so embarrassing if it fell apart. So I don't want to go there, and I know you don't want to go there. So that was my advice on, whoops, other way, Diane. It goes this way. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we're going to cover that. And that almost goes, but we piece it anyway. So let's go ahead and put some glue on there, and we'll just make our pieces work. And I'll be really anxious to, oh, there we go, Diane, see, edge it. I'll be anxious to hear what you think of this study. I just, I've heard, but this always happens to me, and this is why I do Bible study all the time. Because do I know the story? Yes, I know the story, and I could probably repeat and say all the Bible verses. But when I do when I do my Faithart kits, okay, I open my Bible, or I go online to Blue Letter Bible, and I look up all the verses, and then I read all the commentary about it. And I go, oh, okay, I forgot that, or I didn't remember that, or oh, maybe that's something totally new that I didn't even know, right? And so that's what I love about doing this, is that, I think we're going to do it like that, is that it's just little chunks. And I know so many people post all over social media, I want to spend more time with Jesus. Well, if you want to spend more time with God, Jesus, try one of my little junk journal kits, because you're not making a commitment for 20 million weeks or anything like that. Your basic, oh, let's put that dark spot right there. I love that. Because you're just taking little bites, little chunks, right? And that's just like so much easier when you just take little chunks. So there's only 7 verses in this kit. And so you get to look at 7 verses about what? Jesus being the bread of life. And so, as I said, if you know the story, great, you're getting a refresher. If you don't know the story, wow, then you will know the story, right? You know what I have to think about? I know that's going to get glued. Wait, go back. Here we go again. Wait a second. This is in the middle. So the back of this does not need any of my paper. Perfect. Okay, just wanted to refresh my memory. So don't waste your paper trying to cover the back, because it's going to be glued down. So I am cutting just a tad over it just to wrap it a little bit, because I think it'll be better, right? Because that's going to be glued just like that. Yeah. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay. So please comment. Tell me, what do you think? Do you agree with me? These are like nice little chunks of a way to spend time in God's Word. And then you have a legacy, you have a piece of a treasure. I mean, you've made a treasure when you're done, right? So you can look back and go, oh yeah, that's what I learned. I learned that, and I learned this. And, or you make this and give it to somebody else. Even better, if you have a grandchild or a friend or a daughter or a child and you want to do this with them, right? Why not, oops, I glued that over too far. Why not print 2 kits, sit there and make these together, and then do the Bible verse together? That's a great thing to do with your grandchildren. Because you can tell them all day long, oh, you need to read your Bible. But if you don't do it with them, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, Grandma, Grandpa, whatever. Yeah, I hear you, but I just don't have time for that. But if you spend the time with them, I don't know any child that doesn't want to spend time with their parents or their grandparents. So whatever place you are in life at this point, if you're the parent or grandparent, like obviously I'm a grandparent, but my grandchildren all live in Virginia and I live in Florida. So I can't spend time one-on-one with them as I wish I could, because we don't live in the same state, but that's the way it goes. This is open, so this is easy to trim this. So I have been collecting envelopes for a long time, but now that I'm actively doing this with you all, I'm running out of real junk mail envelopes. So I actually just ordered some envelopes, some business envelopes with these kind of windows on Amazon, because I realized, okay, how am I going to keep making this when I don't have enough envelopes? So figured I'm just letting you know, you'll start seeing that. It's like, oh, where'd you get that one? Looks brand new. Yeah, it is kind of brand new because I don't have any more left. I've used them up, and I've asked my neighbors, but when I asked my neighbor, I forgot to explain to them how to open the envelopes. So they ripped them all up, and then they gave me, didn't you want envelopes? I'm like, well, you kind of missed the point. So I realized, yeah, you can ask people to save junk mail envelopes, but if you don't teach them how to open the envelope, they're going to give you stuff that you really can't use. Okay, let's do, I should just leave that right like that. What if I just trim it? And then I can get that in there all at once. Yeah, let's do that, Diane. Let's do that. Let's see. There we go. And we'll just trim it over that way. Okay. So now I'm kind of piecing it, and this is what takes time. So let's trim that, because we know that's going to end there. And then I'm going to put this piece right back on there. And trim it to right there, okay? I'm sorry, I totally did that out of camera. I apologize. A little bit over too far, Diane. Okay, put the glue on. Let's see if I can make it work, right? We'll put it on like that. Whoops, I'm covering up too much of the window. So doing these double ones is actually, you can see it's a little bit more time consuming. Let's trim that way, and then I can trim it this way, and hopefully, there we go. Now we just put that down. Perfect. Now that needs just a little glue on it to put the corner down. Okay, we're doing good. Oh, it's 32 minutes. I'm sorry. Here we go again. I just can't do this any faster. I wish I could. Okay, we're going to come up like that. Let's put the glue on that. But the good news is, as soon as we get this covered and stapled, then it's basically done, because I've got all my tags done. So all I have to do is just show you what I did, and that will be simple. So let's trim that. Sorry, I'm probably putting my head in the camera. Yes, I am. Sorry. There. Okay. So doing a double window envelope is, yeah, it's a little bit more time consuming, for sure. So let's go up there. Let's cut this off. Let me get it glued down correctly, and then we'll trim it. There we go. Okay. Well, that wasn't that bad. That worked out pretty good. Let's put some more glue on there. And of course, I had it peeled up and I didn't edge it. So part of it's edged, but it's okay. There we go. Okay, let's go back. How are we doing on here? This works good now. We have that as our folder. We've got the front and the back. So all we need to do now is we just need to cover that part. Let's see what we have left. Do we have a piece that we could trim that, or should we just take a whole piece? You might want to just take a whole piece, it would be quicker. So just put it on there. Okay, and let's put that right there. so fast. I'm trying to go as fast as I can so that we can get this done. Okay, that's going to go like that. Okay. Like that, Diana, goes just like that. Yeah, I didn't, yeah. Okay, we got it done. So now I am going to, no, I won't do that right this second. Okay, basically, look, yes, we got it almost all finished. Yes, we do. You know what we don't have done? Okay, the one thing that I wanted to do, so here's my notes, right? And then there's the other tag. I'm gonna put the tag like that, and this will slide in here. But I also want to use the other picture. And so what I had planned, let's see, I cut this piece of manila folder. I cut it just big enough to be like its own tag in there, and it could stick up a little bit, right? So let's do this. Let's mark it a little bit so that we can see where the picture needs to be, right? Because we're going to cover it anyway. So then when I'm doing that, the picture needs to be in between there. Let's see, is that going to work? So because we're sliding it in, hopefully we can just slide it in and see. Oh, that works. Basically, you don't have to worry about what I was just doing. You know what? I don't have to worry about that because it's 2 windows. So let's go ahead and cover this with the second picture of, basically this is obviously the Last Supper. And where Jesus has said, take this in remembrance of me, right? And that will work. Now let's trim, let's just do it this way. Oh, wait, Diane, you know what? I have to do the back of it. Why don't we just wrap it? Yes, let's just do that. That's so much better. So much quicker too, right? Because we want the back of it covered. So we'll just wrap it. That's what we're gonna do. So let's, I'm gonna try and put this right there so that it will fold. A nice fold, and then we're gonna wrap it, right? Okay, go ahead and tear that off. I'm sorry, I'm like making a big mess, but hopefully you get what I'm doing. There. There we go. That better be in the middle, but if it isn't, it isn't. Okay, that works. Yes. See, now we got that. Perfect. Let's trim that. So we wrap, so you need a piece of manila folder for this style. You need 1 piece of hymnal paper, music paper. You can use whatever you want in there. And again, as I said, maybe you're inside of your envelope, you actually like the color and you don't need to cover it. That's okay. This is all about what you like. So we're gonna put that underneath there. We're gonna put that underneath there, right? And then this would slide right in there. Yes, see how gorgeous that is? Yes, that worked out perfect. Okay, so how do I wanna finish the top of this slide-in piece? 40 minutes, well, not bad. You know what, I don't know, that's just a little piece we'll do afterwards, okay? So I wanna show you how I'm gonna put it all together. So let's take it out because I don't want to staple anything. We're gonna glue that. No, let's staple it first. And if you have, a regular stapler would probably work. This is close to my heart if you have one of those. And the reason I have that is because it maneuvers and changes ways to go. Okay, we've got 1, 2, and 3. And that was right on the fold, and this hangs over a little bit, which is exactly fine with me. And now we've got this. Yes, look, we're almost done. Okay, so what I put in there, there's my tag with the Last Supper. There's the tag with the Bible verse, and here's my 4 pages of notes. And we're gonna, so I kept that open on the side, right? So they just slide right in there. And then let's go ahead and glue this now. And then we've got our pockets to stick our stuff in and do a little bit of decorations. But I will decorate off camera, and then you'll obviously at the end, I always show you how I ended up finishing it. But now you got to see how to make this version, right? So in these pockets, oh, I have to close that. I guess I'll do that one. So there's the pocket, there's a pocket, that one's open. But here's all of our tags. So I took all the Bible verses and stuck them on a tag, and then you can see I added all my fibers, and so they go in there. And let's see, that goes in there, and that one goes there. So I'm putting the taller ones in the back, right? And there's the basics of this faith window. And as I said, I will finish decorating this off camera, and then I'll do the flip through. Oh, now see, that's a different color. Well, whatever. Okay, that works. So it opens like that. You've got another spot. You've got all your little things. You can put some words and things in there. We'll close this up, and it goes just like that. There we go.